This one thing helped me decide on the Ruger New Vaquero. Good evening, cowboys, cowgirls, and outlaws. Welcome to the Slick Six Guns Network. I'm your host, Slick Six Guns, and if we are meeting for the first time, I'm here to provide educational videos on the Western shooting sports. So if you're interested in stuff like that, hit that subscribe button for me. Let's dive into the review of the Ruger New Vaquero. The first category is aesthetics. It has a stainless steel cylinder, barrel, and frame with two-piece wood grips. It is a Colt Single Action Army clone that was made by a company who marketed it specifically with cowboy action shooters in mind. The metal on this does not have much wear on it, and I have had it for 5 years, and there are no out-of-place machine marks on it. The information for the manufacturer can be found on the bottom of the barrel. It is not a commemorative or SAS edition. The wood on the grips has a nice color and adds a classic look, but does have some raised edges next to the metal. Grips come in standard plow handle, bird's head, and Bisley. Keep in mind that you can purchase aftermarket grips to fit your needs or desires. It is a 5.5-inch barrel, but also comes in many other different sizes to include 4 and 3/4. I give it an aesthetic score of 4 out of 5. Balance. It's a 5.5-inch barrel. It does not feel butt heavy or barrel heavy. It feels natural in the hand and does not feel like a Colt Walker strapped to your leg. Since this version is .45 caliber, it has less metal, making it less tiresome to hold for long periods of time and ideal for shooting one-handed or gunfighter. I give it a balanced score of 3 out of 5. Action and trigger pull. It has 2 clicks to the full cock position with no half cock position. Ruger New Vaqueros come out of the factory with a ridiculous amount of pressure required to pull the hammer back to the full cock position. However, aftermarket hammer springs and hammers can quickly mitigate this issue. Crispness of the trigger varies with each model and often depends on what aftermarket parts are in it. The trigger is very wide and allows a person to grip it with as much or as little of their trigger finger on the trigger with confidence that the hammer will slam home with each pull. I give it a trigger and action function score of 2 out of 5. Recoil. The revolver is chambered in .45 Colt, and as with many other calibers, can be loaded or increased to the desired level based on the shooter's needs. However, if you are a new shooter and do not reload your own ammunition or have someone you know and trust to do it for you, .45 Colt can be quite taxing on your wrist and hands at factory settings. To the less experienced shooter who does not reload, I recommend that you purchase one in .38 until you are confident enough that you can shoot the pistol without the recoil affecting your performance or safety. My rounds are loaded down to minimum loads, and as you can see, for a big bore handgun, the recoil is very manageable. I give it a recoil score of 2 out of 5. Accuracy. As you can see for cowboy action, this revolver, regardless of barrel length, is extremely capable of hitting the targets at the required distance. To test the revolver's precision, I fired 5 rounds offhand at a paper target from roughly 10 yards. As you can see, based on the grouping, the pistol is very capable of hitting a target at distances beyond cowboy action ranges. The sights are very wide and easy to see, allowing the faster follow-up shots and pointability. I give it an accuracy score of 2 out of 5. Loading and unloading. Loading this revolver can only be loaded 1 round at a time and unloaded 1 case at a time. This can make the process for both unloading and loading very time-consuming. In an extremely stressful situation, even on the clock in competition, a reload can be very difficult. However, you can modify this pistol to have the cylinder spin both directions, making a one-shot reload extremely easy compared to a Colt Single Action Army or another clone. I give it a loading and unloading score of 2 out of 5. Cost. MSRP for this revolver is just under $830, making it one of the more affordable revolvers out there. However, it is not the cheapest. The cost demonstrates that a reliable and durable design can be had without breaking the piggy bank. I give it a cost score of 2 out of 5. Maintenance. This revolver can be field stripped for ease of cleaning, and cleaning can be done sparingly depending on how often it is used, as with any other firearm. It can handle smokeless powder, so you will not have to detail strip it as often as a pistol that only shoots black powder. Doing a detailed strip and cleaning is time consuming, and reassembly can be a bit of a headache if you don't know what you are doing. For maintenance, I give it a score of 3 out of 5. Durability. I have had this revolver for over 5 years and have not had to replace a single part for being broken. Please keep in mind this is also relative to how often you shoot it. The key to this weapon's durability is the transfer bar safety and its use of coil springs instead of leaf springs. I give it a durability score of 3 out of 5. And now the moment you have all been waiting for. At the bottom of the screen is my overall rating for this revolver. Let me know what you think in the comments section.